Howdy folks, I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. So I just want to take a second and tell everyone that over the weekend my grandmother passed. It's been pretty hard on me, and I would go into more details about her and what a great person she was. But you probably don't need to see me ugly cry on camera, so yeah. So if today's energy is a little more subdued, then you know why. But we'll keep the show going here, and I just want to say that I will love and miss my grandmother very much, and kind of sometimes things are hard to articulate. So let's get started. Our first letter is titled, "Am I a jerk for stepping down as a bridesmaid just one day before the wedding?" Throwaway, bear with me, I'm writing on my phone. So, last week, it was my sister-in-law's wedding. My sister-in-law is my fiance's sister, to clarify. I've been with my fiance for 5 years, and we've been engaged for 2. Before I got with my fiance, his family was trying to get him to date another female friend who no longer talks to him because she said some pretty horrible things about him and some of his friends. Plus, she was always trying to put me in my place since I started dating my friend, claiming she'll always come first in his life. Long story short, stuff happened and they no longer talk. I have a pretty close relationship with his family, especially his 2 siblings. His sister, the bride, and his brother. One day before the wedding, we are having family lunch with the bride's family, and during the lunch, she started mentioning that the female ex-friend of my fiance. She started saying what a gorgeous girl she is and how pretty she is. My fiance and I felt uncomfortable, and my fiance was pretty mad because that ex-friend had caused a lot of damage in my fiance's life in the past, so it was hurtful for him to hear his sister praising her like that, but stayed silent since didn't want to cause drama during the wedding period. The nail in the coffin was when my sister-in-law said that it's a shame that my fiance never got to date female ex-friend since I came along and took her place because she'd love to have her bridesmaids, but because of me she can't, and she can't even call her a sister because of me. My mother-in-law told her to apologize and tried to do damage control, claiming that my sister-in-law was just joking, but sister-in-law said she wasn't joking. She really felt that way, then proceeded to say that she loves me as her new sister-in-law, she just prefers the female ex-friend. I kindly got up and excused myself, saying I need to head home. While I was gathering my stuff to leave, I also said I would withdraw as bridesmaid since I'm not really the one she wanted there, and she should contact the ex-friend while she still has time, and I'll give her my dress since we're the same size. Fiance left with me, and while leaving said something along the lines of, "You never know when to shut your mouth," to his sister. Mother-in-law justified me walking out, so did my brother-in-law and father-in-law. They said the bride's words were ridiculous, and they tried to convince me to stay as a bridesmaid, but respected my wish to walk out. My family, on the other hand, said that I'm the jerk for not getting over it and doing this one more day and then walking away from the role while making the bride stressed. So, am I the jerk? P.S. I still attended the wedding as a guest. Bride did not talk to me at all. The grooms did and said that I was right to be upset, but he thinks I shouldn't have stepped down last minute over a joke. I mean, she said it wasn't a joke. Alright folks, so what do you think? Do you think the bridesmaid was right to walk away from this wedding?
Yes.
Amber says yes. I would say yes as well. And I don't know, the bride kept being pretty mean about this whole thing and just saying, well, I liked the other girl better. And at a certain point, what can you do? And she was even given a chance to graciously back away from her statement by people being like, oh, she's just joking. But no, she had to go and double down on it and be like, no, I'm not joking. I really wanted the other girl. And so, be careful what you wish for, right? And if this is what she really wanted, she should have had the other girl as a bridesmaid, plain and simple. I don't think that OP's the jerk in this situation, and I think that they were pretty well justified walking away from the wedding last minute. I think if there's a reason to walk away from a wedding last minute, this is probably it. So yeah, anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk, I'm so glad your in-laws stood up for you and supported your decision. However, for the groom to call her comments a joke is very wrong. He was there when she initially said them. I hope you're doing okay, but you don't need her in your life. And OP replies, he wasn't there. It was the day before the wedding, and the bride and groom just spent their days with their own families. He was with his family. Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense if he wasn't actually there for the comments. She definitely told the groom a different story if he thought it was just a joke. That he still thinks OP is justified in being upset despite hearing a different version of the story says a lot. OP, you definitely don't need us to tell you that you're not the jerk. When your in-laws can tell, that's the case, plain and simple. Your family doesn't seem to be understanding the context though, so I'd dismiss their opinions if I were you. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for wanting my girlfriend and brother to take turns on the bed while they're staying with me? Basically, my little brother, a 19-year-old male, is going to be staying with me, a 25-year-old male, and my girlfriend, a 24-year-old female, for a little while. We have one bed that's pretty comfy and an awful garbage pull-out bed in the living room that nobody wants to sleep in. I said, to be fair, she and him should take turns on the pull-out every other night, and the other one can sleep in the bed with me. My girlfriend doesn't like this idea and says that since she actually lives here, she shouldn't have to sleep on the pull-out when my brother is a guest. But since it's my house, I think it's perfectly fair for me to decide on the sleeping arrangements. OP, do you want to be single? Because this is how you get to be single. What do you folks think? Wow, OP, you're kicking your girlfriend out of your bed so that your brother can sleep with you? I mean, really, OP? I don't think I even need to get into the reasons why this is as dumb as it sounds. Don't do this, OP. Don't do this. Just because it's your house doesn't mean that there aren't going to be any repercussions for you trying to decide on the sleeping arrangements. Keep that in mind in the future. So anyhow, take care and good luck. You're the jerk, she lives there too. You're a complete jerk for even suggesting that she shouldn't get to sleep in what's her bed. Hope she breaks up with you. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for telling my girlfriend that she got too greedy and took advantage of my offer to treat her to a night out? I'm a 28-year-old male and I've been dating my girlfriend, a 29-year-old female, for about 8 months. Very recently, she received a major promotion from her work. This was highly competitive and she didn't expect to get it, and she was naturally very excited when she got it. When she came over and told me about it, I told her, that's so awesome, I'm taking you out tonight to celebrate. My treat. We first went out to a casual but sort of nice and sort of expensive local seafood restaurant to eat. She not only ordered just about the most expensive thing on the menu, but also a really expensive dessert. Okay, fine, no problem. I kind of feel as if most people would have been a bit more modest, but whatever. However, after dinner, we went to a bar to have a drink. We were going to have just one or two and then go home. However, her friends ended up showing up and it turned into a bit of a party. She ordered friends several rounds of expensive shots. The particular shot that they were doing included Crown Royal, which was about $40 per round. The night left me broke and I had to put my groceries and bills for the next couple of weeks on a credit card. I didn't say anything to her that night because she was in a great mood and I didn't want to be a buzzkill. But the next day I did mention to her how I thought that she was getting a little carried away and shouldn't have spent so much of my money. After a little while back and forth, it turned into a big fight wherein she ended up throwing literal cash at me to, quote, pay me back. I told her that I didn't want the money, I just didn't appreciate being taken advantage of. I know that I offered her a treat on me for the night out, but I think most people would hold themselves back a little more under those circumstances than she did. Am I off in that thinking? All right, folks, what do you think? Do you think that they should have been an open bank account for their girlfriend, or do you think that there should have been some kind of reasonable limits on the spending? here.
Reasonable limits.
Amber says reasonable limits. I think that there should have been some reasonable limits here too. I think that when someone says, "Oh, your night out is my treat," that doesn't include your friends as well. And I think like if you go to a restaurant, you have to expect that someone's going to order. It has to. You at least have to entertain the thought that someone's going to order the most expensive item. They might just prefer it. I mean, I personally, if someone were to treat me, I'm just the kind of person where I would probably get like the cheapest item on the menu. But
The cheapest item on the menu because it's the kids' menu and that's all I eat.
This was a little bit excessive on, more than a little bit excessive on your girlfriend's part. She should have been aware of your financial situation and known that this was already going to be a hardship on you. But then on top of that, like, you shouldn't have been her ATM here, really, especially since she's the one who got the promotion. And you didn't even like, you did this in about the most kind way as possible. You took her aside after the fact and said, "Hey, I think you were a little excessive and took a little advantage of me." And it sounds like you approached it in a very reasonable way. You didn't. It doesn't. I mean, we're only hearing your side of the story, so we don't know how you exactly handled it. But I'm guessing that you probably handled it in a calm way up until the point where you two started yelling at each other. So I think that she did take advantage of you, and I mean, I think that she should have known better than to basically force you to put your groceries on the credit card for the next couple of weeks. So I don't know. I just think that this is unfortunate and that she should have known better. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. Who buys a rounds for friends on someone else's money? The friends are also jerks in this scenario. Sure, they didn't expect the person that they are celebrating with to pay for, but why are they not paying for their own drinks? Why are they freeloading jerks here? Not the jerk, you offered to treat her and not her friends. She definitely took advantage of the situation and is embarrassed that she got called out on it. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to move into the guest room at my parents' house to accommodate for people who need a place to stay? Hi everyone, I'm a 26-year-old female and I live in an in-law apartment at my parents' house. It's a full living space. I bought all the furniture and all that. I pay full rent and have since I moved back in from college. I don't know how other people feel about it, but this type of arrangement is normal and almost a tradition in my family. There was a fire at an apartment building in my area. Everything burnt to the ground. My parents have been trying to help a couple find a house, but it's been hard with the couple's budget and the housing market. My parents came up to me a few days ago and told me that they had offered to let the couple stay in my apartment rent-free and said I should move into a guest room while they stayed. Parents insisted it was temporary. They probably believed it would be, but I have my doubts. I told my parents this, but they think I am too cynical. I said that I need a little time to find a place. Then I will move out and the couple can have the apartment, not the guest room. My parents said that they had already promised a full private apartment space and said I should stay in the guest room. I told them that these people are chain smokers, self-described, and I did not want them getting smoke on all of my stuff. Parents were shocked because they had not realized that I would be taking my things with me, leaving the apartment bare. We got into a huge argument. Heat of the moment, I said that they were making a huge mistake and were naive in thinking that these people would or could move after a little while. My mom called me selfish, basically told me to pack a bag and get out. I refused since I already paid for the month. They have been calling me a squatter. Am I being as messed up as they said? OP, you've paid rent. You're not being a freeloader. The people who are going to be freeloading are the people who are going to be moving into the apartment here. And that's not to say that this isn't generous of your parents. I mean, I think it's very generous of them. I think that if they want them to live there rent-free, that's a really kind gesture. And I'm, happy that they are trying to help these individuals. But they're also doing this at your expense, and they're expecting you to have your furniture ruined, by cigarette smoke because they feel like helping these individuals. And I'm sure you want to help them as well, and you're offering to move out and find your own place to rent in the interim, and you specified why you didn't want them having your stuff. I think that if this hadn't been a smoking issue, you probably would have been a little more amicable towards allowing them to utilize your stuff at least a little while. But I honestly can't blame you no matter what for not wanting them to use your stuff, because it's yours. You paid for it with your own money. I don't know what your parents were expecting here. Did they expect that they would get furniture out of this deal too? Did they pay? They didn't pay for this furniture, so I don't know why they would expect to be entitled to it. So yeah, I don't think that you're a jerk here, and I don't think you're being a freeloader here either.
Why aren't the parents offering to give up their main bedroom?
Yeah, why aren't the parents offering to give up their part of the house or the main bedroom and go and sleep in the guest room? I don't know. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. You pay full rent. You bought the furniture. Find another place and take the furniture. Your parents can buy a new furniture and learn the hard way when it smells like smoke. It sounds like your parents expected you to still pay full rent while evicting you from your space and keeping your belongings. They're treating you like a child and not a tenant. You are not a squatter, you are a paying tenant. Your parents' promises are nothing to you. They should have discussed it with you, and now you will have to inform that couple that the place is not furnished and they need to find elsewhere. Though I'd still be moving out if I were you, if this is how your family wants to treat you, and ask them for a formal eviction notice. Yeah, you need to make it clear that you're 26 and not 16, and the relationship you have with them is a tenant and they're the landlord, not a child and parent. And if they're not going to respect that, remind them legally that there's not much they can do. They technically can't even kick you out. You told them to kick rocks on paying rent. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. If you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.